Hello, and welcome to Dickinson's Real Deal. On this show, I help members of the public to get the very best price for their antiques and valuables. They get a choice. Sit down with one of our regular dealers. They'll try and tempt you with a sum of cash on the table today.
£7.50. Are we there?
Are you there?
I'm very near there.
If I don't think that's enough money, I'm going to say reject that offer. Have a gamble. Go to auction. Hopefully, we'll get you a little bit more money there. Today, the show comes to you from Blackburn in Lancashire. Just look at that crowd. They've been here since early this morning. They're determined to do business. They want to walk away with cash in their pocket, or maybe gamble at auction. But either way, they want the real deal.
The dealer's den's a gold mine today, so let's dig in with our first item.
Hi, Ian, I'm Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Nice to
Will
meet you.
Mark Stevens get all shook up over seller Ian's silver caster?
It cost me £80. I think it was an absolute bargain because it's Georgian, it's from about 1770, and I'd be disappointed if it didn't make over £100 today, so I'd like to make a profit.
Well, you're a man that knows what you want, but so is Mark.
Tell me how you come by it.
I bought it in an auction about 6 months ago.
You bought it in auction?
I don't normally buy silver, but that was an absolute bargain. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for it, but it was cheap. For Georgian silver, it's very cheap.
So, you fancy yourself as a bit of a dealer?
Not really. I like... Yeah, I suppose I do, actually. Yeah.
Going to the auctions, now coming to sell it?
I couldn't make a living out of it, I think, but maybe once or twice a year can make a little profit or something. Yeah.
Well, it's not easy to get a living in our business at the moment, that's for certain. But it's a very nice thing. George III, let's turn it upside down. Marked underneath, 1771, Robert Preston, and it should have, if we take the top off here, there should be another mark in there. And
Yeah,
as you can
exactly
see,
the same. Yeah.
we have the mark there.
Yeah.
Slightly worn, but we can just make out the initials so we know that this is the genuine top to the bottom, because a lot of these get lost or damaged and they replace them.
Right.
So they take the hallmark off and it then becomes really a bit of a marriage, but this is totally genuine.
I know it's a shaker, Mark, but what is actually a shaker for, do you think?
Well, you know, there are different trains of thought. Some people believe it's for pepper, some people believe it's for sugar, and other people believe it's for sand, because where you would write in the old days using the ink, you'd needed to dry the ink so it wouldn't smudge, so they used to put it over. So, really, it's just down to the money. So, shall I put some on the table?
Yes, please.
Bought it at an auction. Dealer on my hand. Let's have a look. 20, 40, 60, £80.
I wouldn't describe that as a sterling offer.
Oh, sterling offer. Oh dear. Do I want it? Do I want to put this in stock with the other one I've got, which I haven't sold?
Well, if you have two together, that'll make it more desirable.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do, Ian. I'll put down another 20 to call it £100. I'll tell you what we do. Let's get David in and see what David thinks, yeah? I think it's a good idea.
We've got two valuations on this. It's Georgian silver. We've got something like a 120, 140, a 140, 180. Not the easiest thing in the world to sell silver at the moment, but it is smart, it is clean. In an ideal world, we'd like to see another 20 or 30 quid on that, but I'll leave you with our man here and see where you go.
Thank you, David.
I've actually got the identical caster at the moment, and I'm trading it for £120. So as you can see, there's 100 on the table. I'm going to earn 10%,
small margin,
20%, you know, no more than that. It's very small profit. So 100 on the table, what are we going to do here?
It looks good on the table, £100.
It is good on the table.
I'd love more, but I'm going to take your offer.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Ian went home with the £100 he wanted, but is he happy?
I would have liked a little bit more money, but all those £20 notes on the table were just a bit too tempting. I like money, yeah!
Don't we all, Ian? Next, it's time to brush up on what seller Brenda's brought to Stuart Hofgartner's table. What do you think, Stuart?
I'm hoping they're libation cups, because if they are, they're 10, 20,000 a pair. You know, even a pair is special.
Well, my grandmother gave them to me and she said, keep hold of them. They'll probably be worth something one day.
Well, Brenda, is this going to be that day?
When I first saw these, I got very, very excited. They looked, at first glance, to be libation cups in rhino horn. Does that mean anything to you?
No.
A rhino horn, particularly libation cups, a drinking vessel, are very, very valuable. 10, 20,000 or more. But I'm sorry to say they're not. Okay, I can see them now much closer. They're actually soapstone, and I believe them to be probably brush pots, Chinese artists' brush pots. Can you tell me a bit about them, what you know, where they're from and so on?
Well, my grandmother gave them to me many years ago, and I think she got them from possibly her mother, or, you know, they've just been handed down. Yes.
So anybody out in the Orient in the past, that sort of era?
Not that I know of, no.
Late Victorian, say, might be 1900-ish. Might even be 1920s. It's very difficult. They didn't tend to sign them in any way to give it the date, but you usually tell a story, and if you look at these, you've got, I thought it was a dog or a fox, but it's probably a squirrel. And in one of them he started down below, and the next thing he's up here.
Yes.
The sad thing in a way about them is that they are damaged, but because it's quite a soft material, it's surprising, because of their age, there's not more damage there.
That was like that when I got them.
Yeah, it was, yeah. So, old damage, we'll say, old damage, okay. I'll have a go at buying them, shall I? 20, 40, 60, 80 pounds. Oh, you don't like 80 pounds?
My daughter's getting married in October in America. I want the money to go over. I can't take those to me, I can take
No,
them.
that's true, and I thought you were going to say to make a nice present for her, but she
No,
wouldn't
no.
want a damaged brush pot, would she now, let's be honest? Would I want a damaged brush pot?
Yes.
Yes, she says. 120 on the table. Long face still.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Now, Brenda, I've been watching from the sidelines here. Now, the independent valuers are saying 100 to 150, which I think is realistic. So it's your call to make up your mind. But I'd be very happy to say that's a fair price.
How do you feel now?
Another 20.
Still that long face,
Yeah.
another 20 perhaps.
Squeeze it.
140. Okay,
Yes.
we got a deal. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, they didn't turn out to be the drinking pots worth thousands of pounds. But are you happy with the deal, Brenda?
Well, I had a bottom figure and a top figure in pounds. It's nearly at the top, so I'm quite happy with that.
I'm disappointed they weren't libation cups and they weren't rhino horn, but £140, I'm happy with that, yeah.
Oh, ever the optimist, Stuart. Find out later if he's still happy when it comes to making a profit. Now over to Corrie Jeffrey's table, where seller Patricia is offering a taste of the Orient with her kimono.
I'm actually hoping to get £100 or more, so I'm looking forward to the deal, to see how it goes.
Oh, style doesn't come cheap with this lady.
You wore this.
Yes.
Can you tell me when you wore it?
Well, I wore it when I was on holiday and I went to a fancy dress dance. It was actually my mother's, you see, and I borrowed it from her. My father was an officer in the Royal Navy, and he brought it her back from the Far East.
So he would have brought it back when, in the early 30s, 20s?
I think it was the late 20s.
Late 20s.
Yes.
And this would actually make sense because this was probably made in Hong Kong.
All right.
So it's Chinese export, but it was made for Europeans. This is silk, embroidered and flossed silk, and it's in lovely condition because people didn't wear them.
No, it's just been kept in a box in the drawer. And I thought, well, what a shame, really, when somebody maybe could enjoy it.
So you finally decided to sell it?
I did, yes.
Let me see, let's put some money on the table and see how we get on. I'm going to put down 20, 40. I'm going to put £50 down. How do you feel about that, Patricia?
No, sorry.
Here's David.
Now, Patricia, I'm going to just tell you what I think about this. First of all, it is fabulous. Now, the independent value is, say, 80 to 100. The auctioneer has gone in very low. He said 60 to 80, because he's looking at this like you see all these kimonos which were produced over the last 30 or 40 years. This is something different. Look at the attention to detail on that. I love this dealer, she's fabulous, but I think that's a mean bid for what the article is, because I think the article is at least twice that, and if you bought it for twice that, you would be stealing it.
Well, that's me and my place. But for me, I don't really have the customer. I'm happy to put another 5 on the table, 55, but that really is my last offer. I'm really sorry.
No, sorry. I think it's worth more than that. And I think I'll take it to auction.
Well, I wish you the very best of luck at auction.
Thank you. Anyway, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
David liked it very much, and he thinks it's worth more than that.
David loved it. David loves it, somebody else is going to love it.
110, 120.
Let's just hope David's taste in ladies' fashion's right. It's off to the sale room.
How lucky do you feel? Do you think it's going to sell?
I feel it could go either way.
Okay.
But I'm always a positive person, so, you know, let's hope.
Okay. The reserve is 80. Is that a little bit too much, or will it get to the 80? We're about to find out. It's coming up now.
Bids of 55, 65, 75, 80 pounds.
They're at 80 pounds.
80. Sell away then, 80 pounds.
Okay, the gavel has gone down at 80 pounds.
Well,
Bit
I had
disappointed?
hoped it might fetch a little bit more.
Okay, now I hear what you're saying. You're taking home around £65, and that was the real deal.
Oh, don't be downhearted, Patricia. At least it's a tenner more than Corrie's offer. Also coming up, the Duke's got Hoggy's number.
You thought you'd make 5-10 quid?
I'll make 20 quid out. I've got a ring what?
195. Done.
Time to focus, Hoggy.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from Lancashire.
Now it's time to shine a light on dealer Michael Hogburn's first item of the day.
Dina, I love Art Deco, and you bought me a nice Art Deco lamp. Tell me what you know about it.
Not a lot, actually. I know Mum's had it for a long, long time. It's never been on display.
Well, it's been in the family, isn't it, for a long time?
Yeah.
So we know it's Art Deco, really, don't we?
Absolutely, yeah.
1930s. And it epitomises some of the bronzes of that period, really. And this is a spelter rather than a bronze. This would have been mass-produced.
Right, I see.
When I say mass-produced, there would have been thousands of them. It's got this green paintwork over it, which is like an enamel, really. Yeah. And bronzes also had that green patina on them. So
that's why we weren't sure.
Yeah, it's proposing to be a bronze, really. So, and it still looks the part, doesn't it? And what people look for with bronzes and spelter is how well they're cast. I normally just run my fingers over the face.
I see, to see how crude
and if
they are.
I can feel it a little bit, then I know it's been done quite well. Some are so flat, they just they don't look like a face, you know?
The glass, it's been stored in a pizza box for quite some time because it is the original glass.
Yeah.
And we were so concerned about it getting broken.
Do you know, one of the best things about this is the original glass with it. Because so many of these did get broken. And if you had the light bulb behind it, which we can't wire because of the old antique,
yes.
Yeah, absolutely, we'd blow ourselves up maybe. It would light it up and they would look like they're going to go into the pond or the pool. Why are you selling it today? Is there any particular reason?
Well, Mum's in her late 70s now, and she wants to move from the house that she's in at the moment to a smaller property.
I'll make you an offer. How about £50? Say 70, 80 pounds.
I think maybe we want to go a bit higher.
I've got to do quite a bit of work rewiring it and giving it a clean up, and it's a fragile little thing, really. 90 quid. Final offer. David,
Dina,
help you?
before you make a decision, well, you can see £90 on the table. Round the 80 to 120 is the estimations of the independent valuers and the auctioneers because it's spelter. So it is a white metal, a poor man's bronze.
We're right bang in the ballpark, aren't we?
Yeah.
We are looking at me making maybe 5-10 quid profit when I sell it, David.
You thought you'd make 5-10 quid?
I'll make 20 quid out. I've got a ring what?
195. Done. Okay, I'm going to say 90 quid, give her another tenner, Hoggy. Sure. You know you love this. You know you want to buy it. Look at these glasses he's got on today.
Got the gear.
He's all decoed up. He's going to love this. He's going to sell it. He's going to make a nice profit. Get another tenner in, Hoggy.
All right. Will you take another tenner? Will you?
I'm out of the way now.
Yes, thank you.
You're happy with that 100?
Yes.
I'm happy as well.
Right, thank you. I was prepared to let it go for £100, and that's exactly what it went to, so I was quite happy at that.
Mr. Art Deco secured his Art Deco. 100 quid, it's right up my street at that sort of money. I'll rewire it. I'll have that sold next week.
You're a confident one, Hoggy. Find out later if he's right. Next up, what will Mark make of these unusual little items?
Right, okay, we've got 2 Stenhoves there.
Yes.
How did you come by them?
Passed down from my grandmother. They were in the family, and I like sewing, and they just ended up with me.
And you've treasured them ever since?
Yeah.
Well, come on, show me how they work.
Right, this one's a needle case, but there's no needles in.
Right, okay.
So, that one's in, says I. And this one's a little tape measure, which comes out.
Right.
And then winds back in with the top of it.
A Stanhope, we hold this up, there's a little viewer,
Yeah.
and behind the view you'd have various scenes. Now, what are the scenes? Let's see if we can see.
I think that one's St. Winifred, is that?
I've got to get...
If you don't get it the right way round.
Yeah. Oh dear, I didn't know you did those things in those days. Yeah, you got St. Winifred's. And what about this one?
That one's different views of Chester.
Right, okay. We've got a little bit of damage on this one.
Yeah.
But the tape measure doesn't look too bad, and I suppose really at the end of the day it's just about putting a bit of money on the table, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, okay. 1, 2, 3, £40.
You'd have to put a bit more on.
A bit more?
A bit more.
A bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. So when we go like that, it means just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to put another £10, £50 on the table. You know you've got every penny they are worth.
A little tiny bit more.
I can't, Denise. I really, really can't. I don't like buying damaged items. I just find them a little bit of a problem to sell.
Okay.
I think £50, which is, I'm just going £25 each for them, is enough money. But you don't have to take my offer. Your decision, Denise?
Yes, I think so.
You sure?
Yes.
Thank you very much indeed. It's a deal. Thank you.
Well, if you need a lucky charm to win that competition, there's a whole wristful on Corrie's table.
I believe it was your mother's.
It was, yes.
And she got one each year for her birthday.
She did.
And that would have been when?
1950s.
So it's 60 odd years old,
Yes.
50 to 60 years old. And it's so typical of that time, isn't it?
Yes.
And when you look through the charms, you've got lovely little engagement ring,
I love
wedding.
the rings, yeah.
And how many people will know what that is?
I do.
It's
a 10-shilling note
and a
£1 note.
And you've got the shell for closeness.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and they're all 9-carat gold.
Yes.
So why have you decided to part with it now?
I'm going to sell it and give my granddaughter, my great-granddaughter, the money.
But the only question now is how much money, isn't it?
Well, this is a question.
This is a question.
Yeah.
But you have a firm idea.
I've got a good idea, yeah.
Okay. I think you've got some help, haven't you?
I have had a bit of help, yes, my daughter's.
Your daughter, who I can feel her behind me. Let's put some money on the table. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200, 220, She's slowing down. 240. 260. 280. 285. And that's as far as I go, because I have calculated spot on the price of gold.
Julie, what do you think? 285?
285. If you went to auction, you'd have to get 330 to get back 285. So it's up to you.
It's a bit of a gamble, what?
Take the deal.
Sure?
Yeah.
Both sure?
Sure.
You're sure you're sure?
I'm sure.
So we have a deal?
Yes, we have a deal.
We have a deal. Thank you very much. I gave her very fair money. There's a tiny bit of profit left in it because the price of gold is so high at the moment.
We'll find out later, Corrie. Coming up, does the Duke think this is a begging bowl?
Please, Mike, can we have, like Oliver Twist, a little bit more?
But is Cockney Hoggy feeling charitable?
Can't I meet her in the middle with the cocking in?
Cocking in? Diamond geezer? You're a diamond geezer, get the 20 down!
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal in Blackburn. It's non-stop in the den today, so let's get over to Stuart's next item. It's Cellar Cass Chardonnay.
Well, I've just been told that it's early Moorcroft and it would be worth a fortune if it didn't have chips out.
Looks pretty good. Should make a few bob for the customer. 100 or two, I would have thought.
Oh, sounds like it could still be worth a pretty penny calf. David and auctioneer John Gerard are standing by to make sure she gets just that.
So it's a jardiniere, have a plant in a pot inside it. You wouldn't actually plant a plant directly in it.
No, just a plant pot.
So you could take it out and water it and so on.
Yeah.
But having inspected it closer, it's damaged, isn't it?
It is.
Lots of
yes.
chips.
There's some chips.
I think some chips, about 6, I think, isn't there?
I don't know. I know I stuck some of the pieces back
Yeah, I can see you put them
before I knew it were anything.
But it is a piece that is desirable. It's a good make. It's probably about 1900-ish, give or take. It'll be signed underneath. There we go, William Moorcroft, clear as anything. Nice little thing, and the fact that it's damaged isn't the end of the world. How did you acquire it?
A friend was just getting rid of some stuff and she was going
quite
to throw
sensibly,
it out. And I just liked it to put my plant in.
I saw this coming through the door from about 100 metres. I thought, oh, what a cracking lot. Moorcroft Florian. It wasn't until I got close to it that I realised there was a little bit of nibbling around the edges of the rim. Let me ask you this, John. How popular is this style of Moorcroft in the sale room, the Florian ware? And if it was perfect, what would it be worth?
It's very popular. I think it's the forget-me-not pattern, and in perfect condition it's going to be £800, £900, I would have thought.
Okay. The independent valuers have said about £200 to £300 as a loose estimation. Where are you going to go?
Well, again, I've gone around 250, 350. Needs a couple of £100 spending on it. Then I think you've got a
great lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see if I can buy it. 20, 40. I know if it was perfect, I know exactly. 60, 80, £100. Not a flicker in your eyes then?
No, not 100.
120?
No.
You're not a poker player, are you?
No.
£140.
No.
No, Kathleen.
Here's the man.
Now, the independent valuers are telling you at the moment, and the auctioneers, they're saying 2 to 3 or 250 to 350.
Yes.
If that was perfect, we could talk over £1,000. But I do believe there is potential for a collector and a dealer to give within the range I've just told you, and maybe more. I think it's fabulous.
Well, that's David's view, and he's blown me out of the water, hasn't he? But I don't feel inclined to increase my bid, I'm afraid.
No, I think I'll go to auction.
Okay. With a bit of luck, with what David said, you'll get more money for it.
Double it.
And double it with a bit better luck. Okay. All the very best of luck at auction.
Thank you.
She turned down my 140 for a chipped old Jardiniere.
That's not enough. I'm going to auction.
So it's down to the gavel to find out who's right.
When you turned up with this, did you think it was of any value?
Well, the name McIntyre and Moorcroft on it.
Yes.
With watching your programmes
Right.
and others, I realised it were worth something.
I can imagine it just bringing your attention to, oh, I've got one of those. Is it going to sell? I hope so. The reserve's 250 quid. Here it is.
Bids on the books at 140, 150 on the net, 160. At
250 is the reserve.
At 70, 180. At 180, 190, 200 pounds.
They're at 200 pounds.
At 220, 240. At 240 pound, then sell away at 240.
They're looking for a 250 here.
All finished then.
Are we going to take 240? 240 is close to your 250. Okay.
Sell away at 240.
£240. We have some commission to take off that. It's just over £196 that's coming back to you. What are you going to do with it?
Well, I was hoping for a bit more, to be honest, but I'm going to divide it with the grandchildren.
Okay, so Kathleen said, I was hoping for a little bit more, but it didn't cost anything, Kathleen.
No, it didn't.
It came out of the skip. You said, hang on a minute, don't throw that in the skip, I'll have that. You're going home with 196 quid.
Can't be bad.
Can't be bad. Going to the grandchildren, as always. Grandmothers are so good to their grandchildren.
Soft.
So soft. And that was the real deal.
Back in the den, Jacqueline's brought in a silver bowl, but has it got Hoggy's attention?
It's a nice little bit of silver, but you buy silver on scrap nowadays, don't you? I'll tell you how much I'm going to pay. 100 quid max.
What I'd like and what I'll get is a different thing. I have been given a price. I would like at least 150 to 180 pounds if possible.
A bit of a difference there. Let's see who comes out on top.
Where did you get it from?
It belonged to my late husband's mum and dad. It was given to them for the golden wedding anniversary.
Okay. Hence the inscription there.
Yes, and underneath there's names of the golfers who clubbed together and bought it for them.
And was he a golfer?
Both my father-in-law and my husband were professional golfers.
Oh, wow. This is made by Walker & Hall, which is one of the better makers of silver. And believe it or not, although it's inscribed 1985, the hallmark is 1947.
Oh, right.
So they would have maybe gone to a jeweller's, seen this and taken a shine to it, because it's got a nice shape and a design to it, really, hasn't it?
It has.
I don't really know what to pay for this one, really. It's always a little bit difficult to sell things when they've got these inscriptions on. I just think it's a little bit of history and I'd like to have a go at buying it. Have you got a price in mind?
I have an idea what I'd like.
Oh, I like it when people say that. With a wink in your eye as well. Okay, I'd like to pay 20, 40, 60. I'd like to pay £80 for it.
I'd like a little bit more, please.
How much is a little bit more?
Just a little bit. They're a very nice colour, actually, those, aren't they?
I'll go for £100.
Right.
Let's see what David says.
Now, how does that sound to you for your treasured piece of silver, Jacqueline?
I would like a little bit more, if possible.
Well, I'll tell you what I found out about this. The engraving doesn't help it, that's for sure.
No, absolutely.
But it is a pretty little bowl. Independent values are all between 100 at the lower part, going up to 140. There is, the precious metal is £140 there, should that be melted down. It's too nice a design to be done, to be melted down. The only way to do is this. Please, Mike, Mike,
no,
please, can we have, like Oliver Twist, a little bit more?
David, right, here's the deal.
Right, I'm listening.
So I'm at the auction, I see that 140 quid, scrap value. I'm only going to pay 120 because I've got a buyer's premium on top of that. So I pay 120.
You heard what he said? I'm only going to pay 120.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, at auction. And then
we're waiting for that 120.
No, my favourite lady of the day gets 120 on the hammer. Work that out. What would she get in her hand?
Hang on a minute. you told me you were prepared to pay 120. Right, Jacqueline?
He did,
David,
yes.
And
David,
your
please.
favourite lady, who is my favourite lady, says, get the 20 down, Hoggy, and don't be mean.
Can't I meet her in the middle with a cock and hen?
Cock it in, diamond geezer. You're a diamond geezer, get the 20 down.
Oh,
Right, Jacqueline, job done, darling.
Thank you.
Off.
I love him.
Yes, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Yeah, it's good fun. I think I might have dropped a clanger on the silver. Wanted to pay a $1, ended up paying 120, and I think that is my profit.
Our hearts bleed for you, Hoggy. After the break, one little nut has Corrie all excited.
That Corrie, behind the exterior, is thinking, gotta buy it, gotta take it home at all costs.
But can she shell out enough money to own it?
Are we there?
Are you there?
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from Lancashire.
As a great day in Blackburn draws to a close, there's time for one more deal with Corrie. Will she go nuts for her final item?
I love it. I want to buy the item, but she looks like she knows what she's doing.
I've done my own work and I kind of know what it's worth.
That girl's no pushover.
Corrie,
Let's see if you're right, Corrie.
I'm just going to say I love it. I love, it's an acorn, but it's
Yeah.
not an acorn, is it?
Yeah, no. It's a little sewing kit. It's
Shall we
really
open it?
cute, really cute.
It's
yeah.
really, really cute. Let's open it. Okay, first of all, I just want to say the colour. I mean, it's got that lovely silvery gold colour, so it's silver gilt.
Yeah.
Put the lid down there, you're going to turn it round, and you've got full hallmark there. And do you know the date?
1871.
Yeah. And the maker is William Henry D. And then we start unpacking it. So you've got a silver thimble, no mark, and possibly not the original. And then you've got a little tube here with the needles. Pull again, and you've got the thread. And all the way around the outside are pins. These are little pins in the holes here, buried in the holes.
I didn't notice the pins
So you've got
before.
these are pinholes. And then you package them. Let's put it all back together. Your sewing thread, your thimble, and this lovely at the top, and you packaged it. And it's an acorn.
It's fantastic,
What?
isn't it?
It's fantastic,
It is.
I have to agree. So how did you ever get to own it?
It was inherited by my father that died in August last year. He was a very keen collector of antiques and collectibles.
I mean, it's delightful. And it's just such a little surprise, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly when you open it up, you don't expect it to be a sewing kit, do you?
No. And do you think that he'd be pleased to know that something he treasured was on show and television for the nation?
I think so, yeah.
And have you any idea what you want to do with the money?
Give it to my mum.
You are a very good daughter.
I think she deserves it. Treat herself.
I think that would be a really nice idea.
Yeah.
So let's make it into a good round sum, shall we?
Yeah.
I'm going to do my best to buy this. I'm going to put down 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500. Got David looking serious.
Oh. What we have here is a superb object. Now, we have two independent values. One says £400 to £600, and that sounds kind of realistic. Then another one says, no, I don't think so. I think £500 to £700. But in the back of my mind, I'm saying to myself, neither of them could be right, because it could bring more.
Yep.
So I'm going to say we need to push our dealer here to put a lot more money down to tempt us. Otherwise, I'm going to push you towards the auction. Now, on the day, we may come unstuck in the auction, but you will never, ever come unstuck with that item. It is a winner, and it's always going to be a winner because of its sheer quality.
Got 500,
550, 600, 650, 700, 750. How do you feel about that?
It's better.
It's better.
It's better.
Better? How better?
It's better than what you had on the table before.
Well, again, I'm going to say a lot better. And in fairness to our dealer, she has really come to the party. So she knows there's £1,000 worth here. And I'm going to say, and so I'm going to say that's where I kind of place that. I'm going to leave you with Corrie because I have a sneaking suspicion that Corrie, behind the exterior, is thinking, gotta buy it, gotta take it home at all costs. So I'm going to just leave you just to see what she does put on the table.
He's nearly right, you know. All costs, maybe not all costs, but I'm going to give a really good try. So we've got 750 on the table, 800, 850, and I'm going to put another 50 down, so you're at 900 cash on the table. Are we there?
Are you there?
I'm very near there. You said, when you said that you walk away at all costs, I'm not quite that. I think it's lovely. I think it's it's the nicest thing I have seen for a long time.
Yes.
I think it's really nice. I think your dad was amazing.
Yes, he was.
I think he was, yeah.
Yes.
I'm so pleased that you recognise the beauty in this item. Now, when you came along to the show today, did you ever think, well, it's worth that kind of money?
Of course. No.
Well, I just think that probably is about as money, £1,000. But are you going to put the £1,000 down?
I don't think I'm going to get 1,000. I don't think I'll get a profit. I'm going to put 950. That is my last hands-free 50 on the table.
Right, now I'm going to say to you, she's made all the running, and I think it would be wrong to disappoint her and cut her off right at the last hurdle, so to speak. Yes. So only you make that decision, but I'm happy with the 950 on the table.
Susie, you've pushed me. That is my last hands up, no money left. So do we have a deal?
Yes, certainly do. Yeah. I'm happy that you're getting it, Corrie.
Well, I'm really pleased to get it.
Well, that deal hit Corrie's purse hard. Has she hopes for a profit?
That was a lot of money. A lot of money. Might not sell it this year.
Came with reasonable expectations, and I think I made enough money for my mum to maybe have a nice holiday.
So that's a cracker of a deal for Susie and a week in the sun for her mum. Proof that small is beautiful. Except when it comes to making a profit, that is.
£80.
Our dealers have put down over £1.5 grand of their money, but have they made any of it back? Stuart turned down Kathleen's Moorcroft Jardiniere.
I don't feel inclined to increase my bid, I'm afraid.
But putting £140 on Brenda's pair of brush pots didn't pay off, as they remain unsold. Bet you wish you'd gone for the Jardiniere now, Stuart. Corrie battled with a coy customer over her nécessaire.
How do you feel about that?
It's better.
It's better.
But she hadn't received a penny back for her £950. The charm bracelet wasn't so lucky either.
Yes, we have a deal.
She only sold 2 charms for £75.
Thank you very much indeed, it's a deal. Thank you.
Mark shelled out £50 for the Stanhope items and £100 on the Georgian silver caster, which, despite fretting over,
this isn't the easiest thing to sell.
It's the only one out of the 2 he did. But it's Hoggy who's the star of today's show. The silver bowl brought in return for his £120. And he could afford to be confident when he laid down £100 for his Art Deco lamp.
I'll have that sold next week.
Because he was right. So today Hoggy can be suitably smug, as fortune favours the cocky as well as the brave.
We've had a fantastic day. Lots of people here, lots of action, lots of buying, lots of selling. That's what I like to see. Don't forget to join me, David Dickinson, next time for Dickinson's Real Deal. See you.